time President Jammeh fii dafa amoon massive production looloo tax the market forces suñ market prices were stable because amoon na time dañ daan accuse President Jammeh ne for them mu ngi am loxoom mu ngi dugal loxoom baarami si business boo gis xamuñu woon ne what President Jammeh was doing agriculturally is to supply the goods into the market. Market forces are, if there is adequate supply, price do they egg si kaw, price do they nahari. Why? If there is more demand than supply, price daf they egg sa kaw. Lolo ta tay Gambia can munta afford livelihood without committing crime, without search from the government. Very rare. Nga gis ko xamne mu ngi liggéeyal nguur gi te searchut and you are the lowest band of pay and you can afford a decent living condition in the Gambia. Do am because saku malo rek 2,500. Bo buge high grade one be 3,000 something dollars. So in low band public service payment is about $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. Yange am pour fay luas. Adama Barrow si bopa Manjum estate. Mo njeko na yoka price luas. Te Adama Barrow lu mo def again is illegal under the Gambian constitution because Gambian constitution mo ne Gambian head of state can only engage in agricultural activity, cannot engage in any other business apart from agricultural activity. Adama Barrow mu ngi ron Manjun estate am bi betay mu ko mom mu ngi yoka rental prices yi. Gambian civil servants are struggling to increase the rental services. Yenen kër ñu accuse President Jammeh mom moko mom ñom ñoko jël tay ñu ko turn into their own houses. Ñu ngi gis Adama Barrow the latest lum def nguuram bi moy attaque suñ golf course bi. PPP attaque uñ golf course bu nekk Fajara. APRC attaque uñ golf course bu nekk Fajara. Adama Barrow's done that from the vice president's residence, chief justice residence to Fajara golf course. So the long and short story is accent bi yep NPP ak UDP ba tey ñi ngi baña release list bi list President Jammeh ak ñaata lañ jaayee bagaasam fan lañ ko dugal baatam bi dafa baña jéné list bi Dawda Jallow buñ ko laajee mu ne is confidential. No government business should ever be confidential apart from security matters. Waa security matters sax loolu lañ gëna expose si àdduna bi because luñ daan wax TRRC yep dafa expose ñun si security system bi naka la dee doxee but the security system bi moo waroon na nekk secret waaye defuñ boobu secret. However, property President Jammeh ñu ne loolu secret la. How criminal is that? How criminal is that? Gis nga ñii then you yap these people are taking our sovereign wealth ñu ngi ko dugal fu ne. These people have cost us billions and billions and billions of dollars. Loo xam ne suñ jéenee the next person to take over from Adama Barrow has got a mammoth task liggéey boo xam ne kenn du ko mun a imagine.
Lamin, can I interject for a second? Okay, thank you. Because Echo munge wahne you were mistaken with some of the details. Echo how man munga ko rectify or debunk?
Wow. Just few things like about the High Court standings, the commission be. I don't know who among them you're referring to, but I think all of them have the standing of a High Court because as per our constitution, you should have a 10 years standing as a legal practitioner or in something similar to that to have that High Court standing. Cisse had it. Lamin Cisse had it. Surahata Jane mom duñ ko wasa because he was the dean of the lawyers. Ami Bensouda obviously, So I think that part we need to clear that part. We are all learning from it, but I think sometimes we need to come to rectify that because basically, and also you mentioned about wealth accrued from or profits from crime. It is in our constitution. Like because I remember in the Drug Control Act, if you're caught under section 2 Fatana section, but under the Drug Control Act, if you're caught, if you use your vehicle as a conveyance to transport drugs, that vehicle is going to be forfeited to the state. It's going to be forfeited to the state. So those things are maybe. Well, you didn't practice in the Gambia, obviously. So just to help you in those aspects. Yeah, you can continue. We are learning. Yeah,
Lingawa Degala, Surahata Jane was a judge. I know that for a fact. The problem with Surahata Jane is conflict of interest. waruta na talk in that commission at all because he had some differences with the government.
I agree on those points. I didn't mention those things. I agree.
Yeah, let me say, to be honest with you, how my own background and before he became, because I knew he was not a high court judge, but if he had any of that 10-year standing.
No, you don't have to be a former high court judge. You should have the standing, the criteria. If you meet the criteria, like if you have 10 years of legal practice or something similar in the legal field for 10 years, you can be appointed. You can be appointed as a high court judge. So you've met the criteria basically.
So Lamin Cisse had a practice in the law field for 10 years?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I agree. Just to make it clear, I agree with you on the part of going against the principles of natural justice. You cannot be a judge in your own case.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned the Bensoudas, that what's his name?
Alaji Sedibaro, Baba Gale Jallo, Adelaide Sose, and those people.
Yeah. These people have been they have had contact with Jammeh previously. So basically, they shouldn't have been an umpire when it comes to those commissions. Definitely, I agree.
Okay, somebody is saying Lamin Cisse has not got the 10-year standing. But anyway, thank you. I appreciate the contribution you've made. It's actually, I agree with you. Surahata Jane, I had no doubt with his judging credentials. I had no doubt. What I know, he's had beef with Jammeh, and he shouldn't have sat there. Lamin Cisse, we can leave that because some people in the comment section are disagreeing. They said he had no legal practice for up to 10 years. But if he had no beef, but the other people, Alaji Sedibaro shouldn't have investigated President Jammeh. He was one of the people who led the mutiny against President Jammeh. Baba Gale Jallo ran away because of President Jammeh. Adelaide Sose, her daughter, had beef with Jammeh and ran away. In the UK, I'll give you an example. Grenfell Tower fire in the UK, the first commissioner of the inquiry didn't have anything to do with Grenfell. His links was he used to do consultancy with the company that sold the cladding. So he had no beef with Grenfell residents, didn't have any beef with the government, but because of the indirect link with Grenfell, because the company that supplies cladding, he had some consultancy in them in the past. You're not qualified. They picked a new judge completely. This is how strict the common law is when it comes to conflict. So ñoo xam ne dañ toogoon pour investigate President Jammeh amuñu woon any right. And if you agree as well, my brother, our constitution has set immunities for the military junta. They've set immunities for former and serving heads of state. So suñ bëggoon na pause you President Jammeh, they could have changed Section 69 of the 1997 Constitution. They could have brought a new constitution to get rid of Schedule 2, Paragraph 13, subparagraphs 1 to 5. Get rid of that first, then go after President Jammeh. If he's done any wrong, you bring it up and people say, all right, well, they did it legally. But the problem is, and now our appeals court has ruled in favor of Jammeh. The commission had no right to sell Jammeh's property. Dahanako. Number 3, mu ngi ni jël nañ President Jammeh néegam bi in America. American taxpayers ñoo ko njëriñoo. Ñun we got nothing out of it. Ana $1.1 billion is bi. Ana keri, ana nagi, tractors yi mu ngi ni suñ pharmacy ñu ngi jooy. Léegi the same tractors yu ñu jël because suñ pharmacy jaaxali paacaar buñ leen interview fii 2-3 years ago. ñu ne bay dafa yombon trop time bu President Jammeh amoon tractors yooyu noonu foofu waaye dañ jëloon gars yi seen tractors yi jaay leen Sénégal yi so ñoom in turn xam nañ kan lañ jaay tractors yooyu noonu in Sénégal dañoo dem suñ béykat yi ñu nekk jaaxal pàccaar dañoo dem Sénégal loué tractors yi for $1,000 $1,500 per session pour indi something that they didn't have to pay, and for that reason productivity in the Gambia dafa daanu ba xam ne tey ñun suñ own rice we're not producing it at the same amount. So your own groundnuts, we're not producing them at the same amount. So your own corn, we're not producing at the same amount. So your own dugub, akiyenai, we're not producing at the same amount. Lolota pricey because the demand is higher than the supply. Lolota ñep ñu ngi joyte te President Jammeh dafa amoon ay tariffs yu institute on. Tariffs yoo xam ne doo indi liñong from outside, doo indi pompiteer from outside, doo indi yenay from outside because Gambians yi ñu ko doon bay at a supply boo xam ne was adequate for our market dafa bàyyi gannaaw rek sénégalais dem si Adama Barrow ñu ne ko jéeneel tarif bii nii si saa si sénégalais door di indi seen liñoŋ yi ak seen pompiteer yi ak seen yéene yi look at where we are now the price of commodities are sky high they're up there so President Jammeh lu bëri lu mu doon def is not for himself yaa maa dégga it's because he knows how market principles work. And during Tobaski, time President Jammeh the hard seerutoon boobu seer because President Jammeh was supplying hard to the market for $8,000 each. looloo tax hard price yi hard dafa yomboon time boobu na waa léegi xoolal hard boo xam ne you have a family of more than 5 people te def la serve Tobaski boo demee abu ko ñu bëgg laa rey pour jaay la ko. Yeah, they want to it cost you an arm and a leg to buy hard because the demand is higher than the supply. So sometimes maybe President Jammeh made his problems because the buck always stops with the president. But the Gambian people, we are the problem. Sacha buñ just stay in the Gambia musutoon na am time President Jammeh. Hey na dafa amoon looloo tax President Jammeh mu doon news nit yi waa su leen newsee duñ wax dëgga ñu ne President Jammeh daf ma news because man waa UDP la wala daf ma news because suma jaaxa la bëggoon wala daf ma news because bëggut ma. They will never tell you the truth. But look at what's happening today. Today amuñ news cut that's why we are all suffering before xam ne surgical glove kenn amu ko si lopitaan why lopitaan mu ngi coupé courant all the time ana generator bu President Jammeh connect on from State House to the hospital generator boobu ku dem sàcc nañ ko jox ko keneen where are all those assets that you said belong to President Jammeh ana ñu why is government transaction which is for the public interest secretive Dawda Jallow where is it lu tax UDP ak seen leak si yëpp leakuñ loolu because dañ xam ne seen top executive they're in it NPP seen top executive they're in it this is why sometimes politique Gambia daf man dee disappoint sometimes because dañ dee def selective activism te waru ñoo def loolu suñu bëggee suñu dëkk bi jub ñu dem kanam def leen lu Lamin Tamba daan def man support ma President Jammeh when he was in power because I was remote totally cut off from Gambian politics I didn't even know to tell you the truth. Apart from Asetun Jai said President Jammeh, I didn't even know who was minister of what, who was what. I knew nothing about Gambian politics. Better me impasse. Yamadega. But if you want to be straight, definitely, this man, APRC executive 2021, buñ na mess about. I was not going to go and swallow it because I knew they were misleading the people. So my next time, President Jammeh Mahamne, he's done something wrong. I'll tell him, bro, that linga defni dafa in the problem, dafa lord nit ni. I'll tell him straight. Suma nyake suma lige, so be it. You see what I'm saying? So last word to my brother Ibex, mange dega yange wa danga buga APRC mu ñew neka bena mantam loolu la buga. Unity APRC bi since 2022 February I was talking about it. APRC has to come back and become a full opposition. Duñ teddaat the same la like NPP because NPP mu nge dugal Gambia si bena pax bo xamne it's too serious. Every day is a scandal. Every single day, boy, just is a scandal under Adama Barrow because Adama Barrow do jail action as long as yang ko jot dara muy mochat wala yang jo NPP government holal abasa yang kun arreson nono pour yobu ko court $400,000. Why some minister of health dafa jena mu ne 148 million dafa reer suma loxo 148 million mu jena si wan mu ne dañ reyon fi 73 lir halali niti betay mu nge saaf abasa ñang ñu ne $400,000 rek reeral bu NPP ñu prosecute ko. Dr. Banja is the only person there successfully convicted for economic crimes in the Gambia. Why mu ne dama jël half bi ma jox ko minister bi ana minister bi lota charge ñu minister bi tam this kalala APRC to come back together. We have to come back together but NPP cannot be in the frame. Ibex, yeah? So man lola buga dama buga APRC mu delu si into a fully fledged opposition because Adama Barrow is no good to anyone. Even on NPP nitami ñu ngi resign because gis nañ ne Adama Barrow fu mu yobu Gambia is dangerous. We are sinking, brothers and sisters. We are yaa ngi dégg béykat yi ñu ngi complain. Nit ñaa ngi loss ak xaalis bi. Everything is happening everywhere. One X-ray machine in all our hospitals. Benn X-ray machine. Ñu yóbbu accident victims from Kafuta Bay Hospital ñu ne X-ray machine boobu sax doxatut one ana CT scanners MRI scanners ak X-rays yu President Jammeh indi yoon ak dialysis machines yu nekkoon Kanifing General Hospital Edward Francis Small Teaching fala yooyu yëpp dem ñu ngi spend 156 million renovating Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital waaye mënuñoo am benn X-ray machine bu correct daf ma dee naxaari su ma xool daf dee tàng ba foo xam ne léegi I find it difficult to sleep at night because gis nga man sometimes I regret getting into politics because now I know too much and I cannot go back waaw su ma xamoon lu ma xam tey ni kon ni impasse 2016 ni kon maa ngi noppi toppatoo ji suma soxla go my way but now I know so much destruction pour noppi dama dee guilty but President Jammeh is a tiny fraction of our problems lu bëri dañ ko tuumal ñu jël bagaasam nag ñu ngi maroon ñu ngi xiifoon ñu ngi meroon in 2017 the first thing they did was come and share President Jammeh's vehicles ñu share Nagami ak Harami ak everything ñu ngi ne our tourist attraction the zoo in Kanilai and the forestry yëpp lañ jël neglect ko ñii mënuñoo maintenance dara lañ mënta maintenance the simplest of things they cannot maintain it because of land ngir seen own greed yeah had more drunk these people are after that but anyway one day dina come another conversation you read Jammeh commission report bi soo leen bëggee one day dina ko break down because maa ngi amee full report maa ngi amee the white paper tam so mun nañoo dem step by step everything luñ accuse President Jammeh ñu laajte fan lañ
Man, I have a question.
That would be very good.
Yeah.
That would be a good conversation.
You've spoken about how they basically patrol Alali Jammeh. Why?
Yeah.
How did Jammeh manage to accumulate so much wealth in 22 years?
Okay. So
because
that question.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, I was just wanted to go into details, but yeah, that was the question basically. How much did he manage to accumulate so much wealth in just 2 years?
Okay, yeah. So the question is, I cannot tell you myself. However, with conversations with Jammeh's aides and conversations with many people, I cannot tell you exactly whether it's true or not because again, this is why Lolota Buguma today can. ñu jëloon nagi President Jammeh because I didn't have the actual paper ñu ma jël list ku jël ñaata nag ñaata lañ ko jëndee wala dañ ko jël jënduñ ko ku jël ban moto ñaata lañ ko jëndee maa ko amee but the list is not official looloo tax today aguma kenn I know
léegi Lamin
but the truth is
Lamin xaaral ma dimbale baajen go back because you actually drifting from the question xam nga yow moom I love you, you're my brother.
Yeah.
But and I know you're a very honest person.
Yeah.
And you know me, I know you. Man lima buga wax moy from your own opinion as a true Gambian.
Yeah.
We consider you as a very good person bo xamne ngay dem nga def sa research nga speak on facts dang dey to around rumors.
Yeah.
From your own opinion, not evidence or anything.
Yeah.
Do you think in a small country like Gambia?
Yeah.
President boo xam ne bi moo ñëw amul dara amul sa kër mu nekk 22 years ñu di ko fay salary even soo si boole padiyonam and everything do you think loolu xel nangu na ko mu become I wouldn't even say a millionaire become a billionaire man loolu laa bëgg a laajte ne yow to be truthful, to be honest, remove yourself of loving him, supporting him, being an APRC. Ndax yow loolu yow sa xel nangu na ko su doon Barrow moo nekk si place Jammeh bi o su doon Jawara moo nekk si place Jammeh bi o su doon Halifa Sallah moo nekk si place Jammeh bi demet I want you to be very honest nga wax ñu ne Gambia with 2 million people ndax president mun na accumulate that kind of wealth. Not even farming can give you that.
Okay, so now to be honest with you 100%, and I'm not going to deviate. So there is a salary as a president alone, and your allowances when you travel, and your allowances for other things, munta accumulate that amount of money in 22 years. 100%.
Thank you.
But I know for a fact, according to his aides, Jammeh have done some other transactions in terms of farming, wala gratuities. Again,
in the name of Gambia.
In the name of Gambia.
In the name of Gambia. So Lolu
absolutely. No doubt.
Lolu Nono, in the name of Gambia, Jame, as much as you love him, he is not innocent, because if you are a president of a country and you go and have other countries help you or other organization help you because you're the president, that belongs to Gambia. Why did he take it as his own wealth?
Right. So
like you were disconnected when he was in power. Like me, man, 34 years man in England. Man, I'm learning from you guys. Lolu ben hel nangu ko. Ku jame jur sax o family jame sax yow bo toge nek primary school student sax nga def sa maths sax Lamin Tamba, let's be honest, I love you and you speak on facts, but lolu nonu hel nangu ko, and I want us to be honest.
So lolu la don wax ne ak my own department then gratuity rules. Anybody gives you anything worth £10 or more, then call declare when you come back to the office. Yang madega. And dolu nonu lunya just saw them on engineering site, walanga them on a food store inspection, walanga them to a meeting anywhere at House of Commons. You just anything of the value of
we are commenting more than we're tapping.
So £10 or more, then call declare. It's up to your department to say, okay, they gave you that as a present. They gave you a watch or something like that. You can keep it. So in Lolu, you have to declare it. They'll tell you what to do with that watch, or what to do with the £10, or what to do with the perfume they gave you or the aftershave. So as a president of the Gambia, based on Gambian president's salary alone, and the travel allowances and the benefits that go with it, you cannot amass that much money in a short space of time to them. What I don't know is Lalla Jamedan def society to get other money. I don't know that. Yang madega. But so aki say Jamene Lisa Alella Saturla Neka. Ten warloko am Alelin Gurgila. Why are you taking it and giving it to your family members and friends, or selling it below market? Yanko wanter. And the value of land is never a one-tier matter. Yang madega. This is the frustration I have. It's not so much about Jame nakala defebe amli. Ngane aleli jamela, fine. 281 landed properties nationwide. Okay, so ngane du basam mun ko afford as a head of state. All right. So why then are you taking it? Stuff belonging to the state. Most of it weren't ko jaisa. The government can run it. Luta ñu ko jël jokko sen family members yi. Jame mun ko am waaye yang ko jël jokko sa family member. Meanwhile, poor people ñu ngi joy. Tay downtown Bundung ni xale yaa ngi toog si suuf pour jànga. Boo demee school yi nekk up country, xale yaa ngi toog si suuf pour jànga. Should that be happening in 2024 Gambia? 2025 léegi? It shouldn't happen. It's because ñun suñu àll lañ jël jokko nit yi.
Okay, Mr. Tamba. Mr. Tamba. Jërëjëf na nga def.
Maa ngi ne jërëjëf.
Thank you very much for coming in here. Every Gambian, genuine Gambian bu la déglu tey. Xam na ne yow vindicate nga ñu doon wax ne Yaya Jammeh have done amass wealth at his own will on the benefits of Gambia. On behalf of Gambian people.
He did not say that.
President.
He did not say that. He did not say that.
No, why allow Adu to speak.
Yéen ngi bay mu ngay wax
nanka rek aduna metti
melen ma ay ko bay 1 hour mu ngay wax ko dara
do you know what is
melen ma
do you know what
mir yalla melen ma Lamin Tamba dafa wo fi lu bari man I know this kid okay Lamin Tamba mbokki Yaya Jammeh Lamin Tamba lu
bokuma Adu boy correction bokuma ak Yaya Jammeh dara
xam nga yéen ñu nekk ci audience bala leen ma ahade nga so leen déggee one side of the story. We Gambians, we need to be very, very careful. As much as we want to hear stories, but we will like to hear the truth.
Adu boy,
Adu boy, Adu boy dina la wax lo musta dégg tay.
Wa legi waxal rek, do not attack, just waxal rek.
Da nga wax
nañ am respect.
waaw man dama ko respect full time. Nama ko respect full time.
Kasa bor mu wàññi radio bi
du man si keneen la de seen gars yi foofu du man.
non si yow la wax
non si yow la
radio bi ñu ngi ko dégg fii.
mun naa wax mu ne du bosam.
waa just moval foo nekka.
waaw moval foo nekka.
Adu mu ne kii dafa vindicate. Yow xam nga luy vindicate.
non ay Adu boy xamut lu moo wax ba pare Adu boy mu ngi ma forcé pour ma bokka président Jammeh. I've got no relations with President Jammeh.
Okay.
ba pare there's no vindication. I told you what to quote me correctly.
Echo.
Jërëjëf.
Ginga Lamin Tamba.
Naam.
Ginga Lamin Tamba lum study ñun dañ tok suñu bachelors in finance and marketing. Ñun ñëwuñ Lamin Tamba lu
Adu waxal sa wax loo bëgg a laajte rek.
Mané
bu ñoo xam lan nga study ak law study.
dama ko wax rek.
That is a question rek.
Educational background fi kenn wo fi educational background. Okay? Lamin Tamba dama ne
Adu boy taxawal mo la man mako wax bala mo door mu introduce bopam motax mu lon wax lum non study ak lan la jaar ñun ñoko wax mu introduce bopam mom dafa bëggoon a ñëw straight to the topic bo ñu ko introduce sa bopam
okay
pour léegi daal déglu ñu mëna xam
Ahmad Ba ma bëgg wax ana ngeen wàcce ma wa dina ko wax
yow nga bokka Ahmad Ba
dama ne
waxal
Ahmad Ba dara li ngeen bëgg ma wax dina ko wax de li ngeen bëgg
no xaaral
ngeen wàcce ma wa dina ko wax
danga take sa time.
Adu boy ba pare nga wax sa with ease cause yow yaa ngi ko mel ni kuy mer.
Okay, no meruma.
Kenn du la wàcce, nobody's going to disrespect you.
Okay, meruma.
You can have a civilized conversation.
Okay, meruma.
Okay.
Waxal waaye comme nga calm down nga jël sa time. Waaw.
Eku very hard yow tamit nag.
Li ma doon wax mooy
non suma waay la.
li ma doon wax mooy ñu bari dañ amoon ñaari xel ne ndax Yaya Jammeh dafa Amazon all this wealth tey ñu doon wax ne Yaya Jammeh dafa korop dafa def leen vindicate tey mboolem Gambien buy déglu Lamin Tamba tey mu wax lu Yaya Jammeh accumulate within 22 years of power koo xam ne salary was less than 200,000 or 200,000 mu accumulate up to 1 billion 1.5 billion worth of assets, landed properties and shares si Gambia yi man tey sant naa yàlla tey musuñ koo tuumal Barrow si 8 years bu mu nekk fii nii xaaral rek ma ñëw
bàyyi leen ko
yéen a ngi wax si commission of inquiry bi Janneh commission bi Lamin Tamba first of all mu ne constitution bi dafa aar junta bi yéen nag maa déglu de dem na si constitution bi maa ngi ko tiim nii constitution bi amul fenn fu mu wax ne dafa aar junta bi si mooda. There is nobody in this world who is protected from murder.
Thank you. Go on. Yeah.
Understand nga?
Go on.
Secondly, Janneh commission bi mu ñëwee dafa ne dañ start ñu ne buñ ñëwee report bi dañ ne $3,300,000 ñu tegaat si $1,850,000 were transferred to Jammeh's wife from the Gateway account, from Gambia National Petroleum Company, from GPA, Gambia Post Authority, and other entities, government entities. Report B. It's in black and white. Ku nekk mun na koo am. Ñaareel bi government bi waxum ne dafa am xaalis si these properties. Government bi dafa ne the government of the Gambia is expected to generate $1.5 billion, including assets, properties, and landed properties and shares sold. Suñ ko jaayee loolu lañ expect pour generate. Okay? ñu ne nagi Yaya Jammeh dañ ko value up to $100 million. am na ku doon wax fii 850 million or 800 million. lu dëgga sorry to say that. buñ ko value dafa dem $100 million. léegi government bi ñëw ñu ne képp koo xam ne da nga associate ak Yaya Jammeh mooy Amadou Samba, Tariq Moussa, Mohamed Bassi, Elia Raymond, Mr. Buzeynou ñu doon run his companies, Tony Ragas, TSM am Trust Bank Limited ak Krafi company bi government of the Gambia ñu ne dañ ci teg loxo pending investigation. ñii tamit koo xam ne da nga doon deal ak Yaya Jammeh sa assets yooyu noonu government Gambia daf ci teg loxo pending the completion of the investigation ñaareel bi def ne ñoom kii nii yaay Talib kii nii Ami Bensouda and Abiyo Sose du adi Abiyo Sose la understand nga Mr. Jane Adelaide ñoom ñëpp mu ne waruñoo toog si commission bi amul Gambia constitution amul fenn fu mu segregate ne kenn warta toog si commission.
Oh my God, what's wrong with you?
Tamba, please. Back up with Jekali. Understand it. Dinañ ko clear after. Dinañ ko clear.
Mu ne Potomac House bi in Maryland yaa jëmee Potomac mu ne 2015 point of correction Lamin Tamba. The house was bought in 2010. Okay? The house was sold $3.5 million. Who can more than handle case be? The case was handled by the State Department. But pare ñi ko doon prosecute mooy Stephen Parker ak Casey Sullivan. ñu ne suñ pare suñ ba jaayee Potomac.
Adu, 1 second. Haral, 1 second. Are you saying kër bu nekk Maryland dañ ko jaay while Jammeh was in power?
No, after lañ ko jaay.
Mene?
After lañ ko jaay.
2010 di?
Dégulo ma ne the house was bought in 2010 by Zenab Jammeh. 2010 la ko jënda.
Ñu waxoon kañ moo jënda kër bi de jaay bi lañ nekk di wax.
Jaay bi after impasse bi la around 2020 lañ ko jaay. $3.5 million.
Kan moo ko jënda? Kan moo jënda kër bi?
Kër bi waxuñu ko jënda waaye ñi doon prosecute case bi mooy Stephen Parker ak Casey Sullivan. The proceeds will be given to the victims of Gambia. Point of correction.
2020.
Wow, around that time lañ ko jaay. The case is
okay.
Case bi mu ngi si State Department bi. If you go to the State Department website, it's there. Understand nga? Ba pare am na moto yi. Now moto yi ñoo wax dañ ko jaay. ñun luñ jànga moto soo ko jëndee tey nga dawal ko 1 week volume dafa depreciate man Lamin Tamba nag xaw ma nan la jànga te kenn mënul laa wax waaw dafa depreciate
bul attaque waxal rek
dafa depreciate man nag mënuma laa wax kañ lañ jënd moto yi I cannot tell you, I have to be honest. Some of these cars that you people are talking about, buguma fi no duga. You go to the State House garage, mu ngi garé fofu non. Duma fenal ken jarul ma fen.
Gom nañ la.
Nga. Lamin Tamba lu mo wax ci tractor yi. Tractor yi in fact Ami Bensouda du baro mako appoint. Kini Tambedu was on record mu ne moom moo appoint Ami Bensouda.
Okay.
He was on record.
Former minister Bawalo.
Wow, moo ko wa on record mu ne moom moo ko appoint waaw.
Okay. Go on.
Tractor yi bu gaay pare seen report bi tractor yi dañ foofu la gaay waxee ne ñu bari Mamadou Kuram ko wax it was a mistake to recall those tractors and sell them. Because they could have leave it in the hands of the farmers. Lolu ñun ñep d'accord nañ ci.
So what happened to the money when they sold it?
Naam.
Papa Ngulo ba legi.
No, yéen a ngi bàyyi kii mu ngi wax man may door 5
yéen tamit def leen 5 minutes
moo nekk ak guest bi tey.
because li ngeen di wax nii yëpp di waaye moo def leen 5
okay.
Violence to rectify in many places after violence.
No, man said I'm going to rectify.
Lamin Tamba is a guest.
Okay, understand na léegi. Understand.
Mo tan jox that enough time pour mu explain.
Okay,
that was the thing. Okay, pour nga understand rek.
Okay,
good. So yow am nga 2 minutes pour nga clear sa bopa. 2 minutes nit yi ñëw.
Ma clear sama bopa ci lan?
Xam nga wax.
Léegi Lamin Tamba mu ne gars yi dañ doon jógee across the border ñëw jaxali pata di jël tractor yi. Lamin Tamba foog naa ne xamu Gambia de. because su nekkee ne yaa ngi jógee along di border di ñëw da ngaa jàll géej so man tracteur yi naka lañ mën a jógee jaxali pàccaar ñu yóbbu leen on jëlee ko si pharmacie yóbbu leen Sénégal jaay ko man ne digga loolu man musuma koo gis te man yàgg naa di
waaw yow yaa wax fii léegi ne ñoom ñoo wax ne dañ mistake ñu jaay
Mamadi Kurang mu ne dañ mistake bala ñoo recall transport tracteur yi di ko jaay dañ ko war no bàyyi pharmacie it was a mistake loolu ku nekk mun na koo nangu because we could have
jaay nañ ko kon
jaay nañ ko
waaw léegi baalal nu Adu léegi sa time jot na baalal nu comme pour ma rectifier
xaaral ko man dama am one more question de lan moo happen to jambe nagam yi kan moo ko jënda
waaw laaj ko ok Adu uyul
nagi lan moo what happened to the cows
what happened to the cows man mënu ma laa wax lan moo happen to the cows mënu ma la ko wax
dañ disappear
Mane
nagi den feebar
xam nga Gambia lan moo
nañ ko laaj Amat Bah
xam nga Gambia lan moo jàpp instead of ngeen ko
Lami dafa bokk Yaya Jammeh moom dégg naa dafa bokk Amat Bah nañ ko laaj Amat Bah
millénaire ba bu ko attaqué doonu yoo tamit nag Adu sun Adu
kuma ko di moom moo fi eeg ne Lami dafa bokk Yaya Jammeh this seems where
waa Adu let's be clear here kii waxu la ne first of all Lamin Tamba waxu la ne waruñoo appoint ñooñu Lamin Tamba was quoting from a natural from a point of law ne it is against natural justice ne nga am ñoo xam ne then am conflict comme yow tey ci fi nekk ni tey Smile ba Gambia fii nii ma nekkoon leader bi ma amaa yow problème amaa king problème amaa bàjjen ak millennial so nu génnee ma si dëkk bi ngeen dem jël king ak yow ak no millennial ak bàjjen nu appoint leen pour ngeen investigate ma that is against natural justice it do they happen loolu rek mun naa tax soo ko yóbboo court sax he could rely on that it could be a point of appeal ba nga xam ne dina lose di nga mun a lose sa lifin boobu noonu sa case easily
morally nga wanda morally
no mema
legally not morally
legally I'm speaking from a legal point of view man duma fi wax moral I'm speaking Adu déglul soo déggee yenn judge si they recuse seen boppa from certain cases is because maybe tey man su ma nekkoon judge nu isi suma jarbaat si court bi ne dafa jam keena obviously dama recuse suma boppa from the case cause maa kooku I have a conflict of interest duma téye suma jarbaat su ma ko bàyyee danoo ne jarbaatam la yaa nga understand so duma mun a fair I cannot be fair so loolu la kii doon jéem a quote Lamin Tamba pour explain waaw yaa ngi way yëfi ne Adama Barrow appointed guy yow oo na la ne Bah Tambadou jógut mu toole ne appoint ne kii ak kii la mu toog noonu he must discuss it with his boss and Adama Barrow no Adu okay dama ne
special assistant counsel bi mooy Ami Bensouda was appointed by Bah Tambadou he was on record saying that
waaw moom laa explain nii léegi Bah Tambadou doesn't have the sole decision waaw loolu nema rek Bah Tambadou doesn't have the sole authority or decision to make pour jëg la mu choose Ami Bensouda as kum appoint
we can argue about that
no let me come in it has to be discussed at cabinet level dina ko discuss ak bossam because he's the advisor the Minister of Justice is the chief advisor to the government on legal matters so moom dina dem si Barrow obviously mu discuss ko Barrow is the head of state he's an executive president for that matter so nu clair loolu mu understand suñ la waxee ne waa mema suñ la waxee ne Barrow ko appoint minu ne Barrow moo dem wóor uti Ami Bensouda mu ne ko yow kaay nga lifin non it doesn't work like that it's that foog nga follow procedure loolu la no jéem a explain nii pour nu understand ante ba pare kii this man didn't say ne gaa den naa ñëw di cross jaxali pàcca di ñëw mu ne bu gaa jëlee tractors si nu jaay ko Sénégalais yi allegedly so pharmacy léegi amaat
mentioning that allegedly thank you very much
waaw boy Adu
da nga déglu boy
Adu gis nga li ma wax ni pharmacy lañ interview jaxali pàcca pharmacy ñoo doon wax loolu in an interview ne tractors yi ñoom dañoo jaala booda dem loué tractor ñu ñëw béyal leen i jaali pàcca they are same tractors yu ñu amoon nekkut exactly the same one waaye dañ foog ne the same tractors la because brand bi ñëpp am nañ ko the brand is from India or somewhere so dañ dee dem si sénégalais fu ñu jaayoon tractors yooyu noonu pour loué tractors yi toog pour ñu ñëw béyal leen in jaaxal pàcca the interview was live on one of the Gambian online media TV stations
lower properly. Ado, let's be clear here. Like, okay, man, what I'm saying is, yangi wahne ki dafa vindicate. How man ñan nga doon wax ne ñooy leen vindicate.
Dafa am ñu bari ñu gëm ne. Yaa Jammeh liñ ko tuumal yëpp amul. Si am alel.
Waaw.
Okay?
Wow.
So ñooñu tey
so lu ma wax mooy
ñooñu tey leer na leen ma xara rek Lamin Tamba mi mooy representative of APRC chapter bi in UK and in the Gambia. If you people don't know ma wax leen ko.
No, I know.
Déglu leen rek de Yaya Jammeh landed properties yu wax mu ngi wone 280 something bu leen fàtte Yaya Jammeh xaaral 281 bu leen fàtte ne Yaya Jammeh dafa annex most of Gambian properties ñu xam ne ñii ñoo ko moom and these properties will be returned to their original owners.
But they didn't. But they didn't.
Wow.
Return to the original.
Lolu is beyond me and you.
That's topic it be Adu boy. Topic it be moy. Topic it be moy Adu boy.
Dama buga wa fuma agree ak Mr. Tamba. Dama buga wa fuma agree ak Adu boy. Fumu wahe yefine yes, arguably, the 1997 Constitution doesn't bar, does not give immunity on crimes committed like murder to the AFPRC.
Well, that's correct. That's why they charge Yankuba Ture. I agree with that. I agree with that. But no, there are two separate.
It was one of the things that. It was one of the things I wanted to highlight.
Yeah, brother, true. But you're right. But we are talking about two separate things. We're not talking about murder. Commission, the immunity clauses didn't talk about murder. The immunity clauses said no setting up of a commission. It didn't say you cannot charge somebody for murder. There are two separate things here. Aduboy cannot differentiate between the two. Because mom, speech and behavior is a bit like man's character la bugona attack instead of talking about the issues. The Constitution doesn't say you cannot charge Aduboy for murder that took place in 1990. No, wahud lulu. Constitution be mune. Do not set a commission of inquiry on the ex-head of state or serving head of state for what they did or didn't do, what they say acts or omissions. That's what it said, but it didn't say you cannot charge anyone for murder. They are two separate things. So if you're investigating, if you set a TRRC to investigate, you can investigate everybody except the ex-head of state or serving head of state. Just so amend on constitution from the beginning in 2017, when the coalition had a majority in parliament, we will not be talking about all these issues.
I agree.
Yeah?
I agree.
So Aduboy, murder is different from commission investigating somebody. The Constitution said don't set a commission against ex-head of state or serving head of state. Why? If you believe that the ex-head of state or serving head of state, dafa rey nit, either bokon na ñu daan plan pour rey nit, wala bokon na buñ daan rey nit, wala buñ rey nit ki, bokon na si ñu ko daan cover. Because in criminal law, you have to participate in the pre-planning, malicious afterthought, or you have to be involved in the perpetration of the crime, or you have to be involved in covering up the crime. Then you'll
fail to act, or if you fail to act.
If you fail to act, yes. If you fail to act, if you fail to act, it's part of the covering up because you know it, you didn't do anything. So criminal law, if you're in one or all of those, mun nañ la charge for it. Yang ma dega lu ñoo wax ni command responsibility or the greater burden loolu yep loolu la président Jammeh su doon bokkutoon si di murder si ni si pre-planning ak buñ ko daan def bés bu mu xamee ne ñii def nañ lii dafa waroon a set a panel to investigate it. Recommendation buñ ko jox daf ko war a implement. Yang ma dega
I've said that before.
Okay.
Jammeh, if he's gonna get hooked most of the time, it's his failure to act. after the incident
the
occurred.
panel investigation. Yes,
he failed to act on certain issues.
Yeah. So if that's the
just
case,
one more.
yeah. So there,
just one more.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Yes, go on. Yeah.
Do you think, with all the flaws and mistakes that these people did with Jammeh, leaving the country and all these commissions, do you think they would lose the chance of prosecuting him or trying to hold him accountable through the law or through the courts? Do you think they've messed it up or not?
It depends.
Maybe
yeah. So I'll come in there. I'll come in there. Come, brother Bilumwa. Let's start with the Jammeh Commission to start with. Yeah. Bobu Momu, they will lose everything if President Jammeh should do a legal challenge. Ne then set commission against me. You jail suma bagas, even though the High Court, the Appeals Court, the commission had no right to dispose of Jammeh's properties. Court ruled na lolu already. So
I've seen that. I've seen it.
Yeah, so lolu, from there you ragal President Jammeh bum delusi, because what they did in terms of Jammeh Commission is a big problem, massive problem. Ñu dem ci TRRC pour set ko pour investigate President Jammeh mënuñ ko def tam. Lolu is a mistake. Mën nañoo investigate everybody below Aïssatou Njie Saidi, because the vice president power ambi ak immunity ambi is almost similar to the president. Anyone below them they can investigate. But so they diga lu brother Sabinda Bangi in Chinese alphabet, so I don't know what your name is.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but
just call me Chinaman.
Yeah, but the Chinaman. Yeah. So anyway, brother bi lu mu wax loolu la. President Jammeh fuñ ko piné mooy buñ la joxoon panel, buñ la joxoon recommendation bi danga ko implement wala implement, because ba tey apart from lu ñoo dégga ne President Jammeh moo joxe executive order kenn musu ko prove. SAFA laajte na some witnesses ñu nekkoon NIA ndax yow mi wax ne every time executive order nga am from the head of state mus nga wax Yaya Jammeh directly mu ne no, mus na wax Yaya Jammeh directly. ñu laajte Alhaji Martin mus nga wax Yaya Jammeh directly, no, executive order lañ am. So until the commission bi bum jee amut koo xam ne dafa naan President Jammeh moo ma ko wax directly, wala email baa ngoog moo ma ko yónnee, wala memo baa ngoog moo ma ko yónnee, wala téléphone bu ñu record baa ngi ne. But soo nekkee a head of state, the buck always stops with you. Looloo tax loi every head of state si àdduna bi dañ ko jox luñ dee wax implied immunity. President doomi aadama la, he cannot be everywhere. ba pare boo nekkee président ñu nekk sa ron ñoo la dee jënaa yaaxa, they'll do something ñu ne executive order la fekka they've never seen a paper or memo from the president's office saying demal nga slap Chinaman bi, yeah, demal nga slap diw sangam, dangal nga def ni. Nobody knows. Ken si TRRC musta wan ne dama but
adu bala nga ñu
panel suñu investigator ñu la President Jammeh Lamin Tamba ak kele ñoo bokkoon si crime bi, you have to sack them or charge them for murder. President bi defu ko. That's where the greater responsibility comes in, chain of command responsibility foofu la dee ñëwee. Bés boo xam ne lii ak lële moo happen ñu jox la recommendation, you should act on it. waaye gis nañ ne a lot of commission recommendations even Adama Barrow mu ngi ko ignore, lots of them implement benn sa implement ko. But if you want to charge President Jammeh su dee foofu la moo am problem, but in terms of commissions, Jammeh Commission is in a big mess, serious mess. TRRC haven't implemented their recommendations yet. ñu ne ñu ngi utaat benn 150 million bu ñoo séedaale ñoomi neen seen diggante. They're not going to do anything. These people are not interested in charging the suspects, because 80% of the suspects ñu buga ñu ngi noonu seen run. Yeah, they're on Gambian soil. You get lost in straight, say free. Why haven't they arrested them?
Outside my question.
Let me make this. Wow. No, let the chongan. Let the chongan.
After so ñëwee Mel mu ngi fi Kasim mu ngi fi ak waay ñoom tamit after maybe ñu ngi bëgg a laajte question wala am na luñ bëgg a wax.
Okay, let the chongan. Executive order is not a person. It's just an authority given to someone. La xam ngeen nekk di wax executive order.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, Chamta.
Assalamualaikum.
Like I said, President Jammeh, I'm not gonna talk about the civil aspect about his properties and all, but criminally, yes, he could be hooked. Like mun nañ ko charge with some crimes regarding yoo xam ne happen na under his watch. Basically, I'm not privy to the fact ne fekkee naa fu Yaya Jammeh di joxe order ne demal nga rey kii wala demal nga def kele based on what ñun yëpp luñ dégg si TRRC bi ak yooyu noonu. That alone.
Balale ñooñu TRRC boobu naka la ñoo mun a jëlee loolu.
Balalun leen. They still have to implement that. They're still in the from this transitional justice process bu gaa nekk nii gaa ngi si ko am. So they're gonna set up this court in Gambia, which is gonna take care of all those things, like when all the recommendations that were made during the after the TRRC ended. So basically, Lolo is gonna go on. So if how mana Lolo answer nasa question from a legal point of view, from a legal point of view, comme nuko lamin tambawa he. If not, one thing I am sure of is the fact that, okay, there were killings, whether Jamaica or the Oduko, I don't know. Why come the fact that he failed to act, book killings you would call acted on those investigations, pull prosecute new def lolu agyo no fofunga ko muna hu game.
Why do you think do you think as well, just one more, do you think as well ne because earlier, I think a few months ago, I heard ECOWAS Gambia let them use the old court system to get Jammeh back and prosecute him. Do you think Gambia judiciary system is capable of doing that by themselves without any outside help?
No. I'll comment.
Yeah, go ahead.
For Jammeh to be brought before, to justice right now. One, to make a Gambia code, we must have an extradition treaty with Equatorial Guinea to begin with. Pulmuna start the set nakalano in the Jammeh, which we don't have. We definitely don't have that. Secondly, this is the process that is involved in transitional justice is too overwhelming for our justice system. Nyunsun Bopa. We cannot handle that, basically, Nyunsun Bopa.
No, Gambia government have set up a special...
No,